Sega カラフルパレット プロジェクト世界カラフルステージフィーチャリングカツレビクブランニューワールド
Welcome back everyone to yet another general guide and preview/overview for the future content of Project Sekai Global. We are fast approaching the 3rd anniversary for the global server, but before we start I would like to request that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This video is massive and it's taken a lot of time and effort to research the topic and put it together into a cohesive format. I will be quite honest, I don't make a lot of money off of these videos and I don't have any sponsorship, meaning that these videos come from the bottom of my heart and from my spare time. And even if you don't believe it, subscribing and doing the YouTube pleasantries really does help me, so if you could extend me that favor, we can get straight into the video. So strap in, because the 3rd anniversary actually comes with a slew of changes, new features and updates that actually changes the game in major ways. To make it easier to watch this video and find what you actually want to know more about, this video will be divided into different categories that you can find through the chapter function down in the YouTube play bar. And I will start by talking about the 3.0 patch that will be arriving with 3rd anniversary, that will also be divided into smaller sections. The 3.0 patch is the major overhaul to the game, just like the 2.0 patch we saw with the 2nd anniversary. And the most notable thing that the 3.0 patch will change is the visual overhaul category. With 3.0 there will be a UI overhaul that will change the entire current Project Sekai UI to become more sleek and professional and fit the new aesthetic the game is aiming for. While the UI will change entirely and be almost unrecognizable from its original counterpart shown in the footage in the background of this video, the options themselves will mostly remain in the same place, meaning that if you know the original UI by heart, you will not have a hard time navigating the new UI. So you will easily find your way within the UI, but it will be more sleek and more responsive than the old UI. Some of the noteworthy changes that the UI overhaul brings are things such as pop-up screens can now be closed by tapping outside of the box instead of having to click the close button inside of the box itself. Another addition is that main stories and side/event stories will be merged into a single tab. This means that under the story option in the main menu, now all stories will be displayed instead of having them in 2 separate categories. This is also including a lot more options for sorting main stories and side stories, such as which character you're looking for or which band you're looking for stories from. In the live music song selector, songs can now both be displayed as jackets and as the traditional list we have come to grow used to on the global server. And for those who have never heard of the term jacket when it comes to music, jackets are basically the cover art for the album or the single in question. These are the small images displayed besides the name of the song during song selection. So the jackets will become the focus of the song selector instead of the title of the song that the list usually provides. This also allows for more songs to be displayed because you can fit more jackets on screen at the same time in the song selector menu. This will make it easier to navigate and find which song you are looking for during co-op lives where you are under a time constraint, as the list of songs in Project Sekai is just getting longer and longer, and it's actually quite densely packed already now on global. But if you prefer the original list way of displaying the songs where the name are the main focus, you can switch back from the sorting options up in the top right corner. And with this update to the song selector menu, there will also be a whole lot of new ways to sort your music so you can find that song that you are currently looking for. These sorting options will be added both for music picker during solo and co-op Shop Live, as well as to the Music Shop to make it easier to find whichever song you're actually looking for. In addition, there will of course be some minor UI changes, such as items you have a quantity of 0 of will now be hidden from view altogether. So if you've used all of your Shiho cover cards, it will now no longer say 0 in the menu, instead the option will vanish entirely. This will make the inventory and item management of the game a bit less cluttered, even though it will not be that impactful in the long run. Another minor change that I find to be one of the most important ones we will see during 3.0 is the change to the mastery upgrade system. Up until this point, you've had to upgrade your cards one mastery rank at a time, but with 3rd anniversary you will now get a slider like we have for the talent levels, allowing you to upgrade cards from mastery 0 to 5 instantly. This is a great quality of life change that will make life easier for both veteran players and new players alike. Of course, the UI update is not the only visual update we will get to the game. Several visual updates and improvements will be applied to the 3D models of the game too. All 3D models will be updated with smoother outline and visuals. This will be applied through anti-aliasing, and it's worth noting that this anti-aliasing will not be available during regular rhythm gameplay. Instead, the smoother models will only be available during video viewer 3D MVs, not the 3D MVs that we see during gameplay. Also included in this is an overhaul to the 3D MVs themselves. Some improvements include that the hair will now have a transparency to it, allowing the eye to shine through when the hair covers the eyes on certain models, better, more dynamic lighting effects to create more of an ambience during the 3D MVs themselves, and better blur effects to create more depth and life in the video to make them really seem three-dimensional and more realistic. But just like the anti-aliasing enhanced models, this will not be available in regular gameplay. Instead, it will only be available while watching the 3D MV through the video viewer, and it's also worth noting that certain devices that are too low end might not display these features at all and retain the original 3D MVs as we know them currently. Also, because of these updates to the models and the 3D MVs, the 6th generation of iPads will no longer be able to play the game. So if you have a 6th generation iPad, you need to consider looking into upgrading to a new iPad or installing the game on a separate phone to keep playing on your account. On top of this, a brand new gacha animation will also be added to the game, replacing the old one that we've had since the start of the game. This leads us into our second major category of updates that will come with the 3.0 patch. I call this category the world/universe changes, and these are also visual changes to the game, but they aren't quite the same as the changes we have just talked about. These changes will instead change the world of Project Sekai that we currently play in. With the event Hello.Good.Day, or as we all know it, 3rd anniversary, all our favorite characters move up 1 year, which means that time has officially progressed. This means that the story will now progress forward, and the characters' class belongings and classmates will change. But the more apparent and notable change that I think most people have encountered in one way or another is the new character designs and artworks. The virtual singers get new refined artwork of their Krypton original designs, while the original cast of the game gets new updated designs. These are full character overhauls, with new casual outfits worn in the open world, new school uniforms for certain characters, and brand new band outfits for the entire cast. And to keep the band's new outfits cohesive, the virtual singers associated with that band will also get new updated uniforms to match the original characters. This of course means 5 new Mikus, 1 for each band, and then Leonie, Luca, Mormor Jump, Rin, Vivid Band Squad Len and Miko, and Wonderland Showtime Kaito. And of course, it's only Miku for Night Court 25, so no one gets a new design there. And of course, these redesigns are not just in concept. Every character will get new things such as full art for the character menu and lineups for the bands. Everyone will get new live 2D rigs for their new outfits, both casual school uniforms and band outfits. And this of course also includes new chibi sprites for the overworld with the new band outfits and the new casual clothes. And they will of course all get their new band outfit as a 3D model, and this 3D model will be unlocked instantly for free for every new player. The new 3D costumes for the band designs will also be the default option going forward if you do not have a chosen costume on the character. And every character will get a brand new 2-star card, resulting in 36 2-star cards that will be added instantly into the standard gacha pool with the 3rd anniversary gacha. This also includes the 6 original Krypton Virtual Singer designs as unitless/blank cards. This is the first full set of blank/unitless 2-star cards that we have seen. Of course, the only other blank/unitless 2-star card being the Princess Who Brought Sleep from the 7 Deadly Sins login campaign. And all of these 36 cards will basically act as replacements for the original 1-star cards we saw with the release of the game. And while the secondary virtual singers did not get a visual update for each band, so say Vivid Band Squad Luca or Night Court 25 Kaito for example, their costumes will become available. These costumes will be available for free. The only stipulation is that you have read the event story where that virtual singer had their first appearance within the band to unlock them. These costumes are of course unique and can only be worn by the virtual singer in question and do not have any alternative colors. There are exceptions to this though, as characters who already had their unit uniforms available, such as Vivid Band Squad Rin and Wonderland Showtime Len, will not be given out for free. These still need the cards to be unlocked to make them available. And with the updated character designs and the progression of time, we will also get an updated character profile for each character to reflect the development and changes they've gone through from the game's launch to the 3rd anniversary. And it's not only the characters that have changed with the progression of time, the world has as well. And because of that, with the 3.0 patch, a new feature will be introduced called the Memory Fragment feature. This feature is introduced to allow them to showcase a new world that we're currently entering with the time progression while still retaining the original world that we've been playing in up until the 3rd anniversary. So, from the overworld map, you can now press the Memory Fragment option to jump between the old and the new world map. And to further show the progression of time, there will be 180 character conversations added to the new world map at the launch of 3rd anniversary. These new area conversations will only be available in the new portion of the world map. And every subsequent event or extra area conversation added will be in this new world map layer of the game. And of course, old area conversations will not just be deleted. If you have area conversations you have missed or you're new to the game, all old area conversations can be experienced as normal on the old world map by switching between the two memory fragments. And if you're unsure if you've missed an area conversation or if you wanna revisit an old one you really like, all of them can still be found under the character's conversation page. There are also some minor changes that still pertains to the world changing with the 3rd anniversary. 2 new achievements will be added for now 2nd and 3rd year students. And because of the memory fragment feature, of course, the 1st year and 2nd year achievements that is currently available will not be changed or removed. Instead, they can usually be completed together with the 2 new achievements if you so wish. In addition, there will be new one-panel comics added to the loading screens, new character voice lines, and new assets for custom profiles added. The devs do note though that this can possibly change the used and saved profiles you currently have in the game, so check them out after the patch so nothing has gotten moved around or they look absolutely abysmal. And with all the changes to the world, there will also be a few changes to the story reading experience. In the 2.6 patch, the unit ranking requirement to read the unit story was removed. This meant you no longer had to get to unit rank 20 with each unit to be allowed to read the unit story. Instead, after 2.6, the unit stories were fully unlocked for everyone, new players and old players alike, without having to do anything. But because of this, the unit rankings have become obsolete altogether, and therefore with the 3.0 patch, the unit ranking will be entirely removed from the game. This does mean that the achievement Fan of All will be changed for 3.0 though. The change will go from having each unit leveled up to their level 20 unit rank to having read all of the unit stories without skipping to get the achievement. Of course, people who have already unlocked the achievement will not have it be retroactively locked if you have not read the unit story without skipping, but new players will have to read the entire unit story without skipping to be allowed to unlock the new version of the achievement. And this leads us into our third major category of the 3.0 patch notes, being the event experience. It might seem like a weird segue, but on the topic of reading in-game stories, there will be changes to the rewards for reading event stories during the event's duration. The rewards for reading the entire event story will be changed by having the final chapter of the story grant a new set of rewards. Currently, you get 50 crystals and 2 music cards by reading the final part of an event story, but with the update, this will be changed to 100 crystals, 2 music cards, and 50 wish pieces for each event story you get to the final chapter of. But the rewards for the first 7 or 9 chapters, depending on the events, will remain the same, with 50 crystals and 2 music cards per each chapter. And with this, there will also be minor changes to how many event points that are needed for each chapter. On screen, I'm currently displaying the exact points needed before and after the change for each single chapter, but I'm not gonna read out the exact points out loud as these numbers are quite arbitrary and very long. Just know that these changes was mostly made to even out the points needed between each chapter, as the total needed to unlock all 8 chapters has remained completely the same. And in addition to these event story related changes, there will also be several other adjustments to the event experience in general. These changes includes lowering / raising, depending on how you look at it, the threshold for transfer restrictions during events. Currently, the threshold is hitting top 1000 at any point during the event, at which point you will be restricted to only transferring your account to another device 2 times before you cannot do it again during the event duration. But with 3.0, this will be relaxed down to tier 300 before the restriction is enforced. This restriction was of course originally introduced to not allow players to just transfer accounts back and forth to make sure that they could get tier 1 at every event, because they were several players playing together as a single account. That's why the restriction is now going to get enforced on a much more competitive side of the tiering ladder, rather than somewhere you can accidentally end up if you're playing too early during an event's cycle. Gems and charms will have their exchange rate tweaked for events after 3rd anniversary. Gems will go from 1 to 10 per purchase, and you can buy them a total of 20 times instead of the original 200, and each purchase will be going from 100 event tokens to 500, cutting the total price in half from 20,000 event tokens to 10,000 tokens for the new bundle. Charms, on the other hand, will go from 10 to 100 per purchase. The amount of times you can buy the charms will be cut from 100 to 10, and the price will go from 100 event tokens to 500. So just like the gems, the price will be cut in half from 10,000 event tokens to 5,000 event tokens to buy all of the charms. There will also be some changes that influences the tiering experience. Events after 3rd anniversary will have new tiers introduced into the tiering ladder. From the first event after 3rd anniversary, being Burn My Soul, everyone in the top 10 will be getting unique titles instead of the universal top 10 that we've seen up until this point. And this of course means that the top 1, 2 and 3 will stay the same, but we will just add that it will exist top 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10 too. This is of course to give each one of the top 10 players more of a reward for achieving such a great feat, as ending up in the top 10 is actually quite a lot of work. There will also be 2 new tiers of a more general variety added into the game. This in the form of the top 1,500 and the top 2,500 players. And these of course will be thresholds for when you go below 1,500 and 2,500 obviously. But this will not be a retroactive change, so if you did end up in the 1,500 or 2,500 in an event before 3rd anniversary, you will not get a title for that and you will stay as the normal top 3,000 or top 2,000 for those events. And while they're poking around in the tier system itself, they are also adjusting the rewards for a lot of the tiers. Everyone in the tier between tier 11 and tier 10,000 will be given an additional advanced skill score, no matter the original amount they were already given. The tiers between tier 10,000 and tier 50,000 will have their reward changed from 3 intermediate scores to 1 advanced skill score. And everyone in the tier between tier 50,000 and tier 200,000 will have an additional intermediate score added on top of their original amount. Additionally, everyone in the tier between tier 50,000 and tier 300,000 will have its gem amount evened out to 300, no matter the original amount given to the different tiers. But they are entirely removing rewards for everyone that is above tier 300,000 now. This means no crystals and no skill scores whatsoever if you are 300,000 and above, as in you go towards 400,000. This means that if you want rewards from any event, you have to play so you end up in the top 300,000 from 2nd anniversary going forward. A more overt change that actually affects the tiering experience in the gameplay aspect is the reduction of the score penalty experienced when dying in a Cheerful Carnival co-op live show. Currently, when you die during a Cheerful Carnival co-op room, your score gain will drop to 10% of its original power, which is very yikes. But after 3rd anniversary, this will be elevated to 70% instead, which means that score and event point gain will not be as severely impacted, but still provide a punishment for dropping to 0 health, since you are actually hampering your team when you do. So it's definitely more valid to try to practice songs during Cheerful Carnivals after 3rd anniversary, as you will not be weighing down your team as much, and losing health will not be as impactful for both your own experience and your team's experience. The final and most noticeable effect when it comes to event and tiering experience is the changes to the mastery rank event bonus effects. With the 3rd anniversary, the event bonus granted from mastery ranks will be adjusted to increase specifically for 4-star cards and birthday cards. 4-star card will have their mastery rank event bonus adjusted according to this table. The most noteworthy thing is that an unupgraded Mastery 0 4-star card will now grant a 10% event bonus from the get-go. This means that from 3rd anniversary and going forward, every single 4-star card with a 50% bonus will instead be basically a 60% bonus as a standard. And with this adjustment, they also added an available 10% event bonus for 4-star cards, meaning that a Mastery Rank 5 4-star card will now be able to give a 25% event bonus instead of the 15% we currently have at Mastery Rank 5. This does mean though that the Mastery Rank 1 for 4-star card will lose a lot of its value, as it will go down to a measly 2% increase instead of the 10 we saw before. This is of course to even out the bonus a bit more and incentivize you to go for Mastery Rank 5 to get that full 25% bonus for each 4-star card, but it is worth noting that from 3rd anniversary and going forward, Mastery Rank 1 and 2 for 4-star cards will not be as hard hitting as they once were. Of course, this does not mean that if you have cards at Mastery Rank 2 that they will suddenly be less valuable, as with the 10% event bonus and the bonus from Mastery Rank 2, those cards are going to be insanely strong in the events where they're useful. Meanwhile, birthday cards and anniversary cards will follow this table, with the most notable thing is them getting a M0 5% event bonus, making them able to compete with an M5 3-star card. But of course their event bonus curve is a lot lower than the 4-star cards, as they are cheaper to upgrade, and at M5 they will end at a 15% event bonus. I do think that this is a healthy change for the game, even though it might seem a bit harsh against new players and also free-to-play players. This change will skyrocket the value of 4-star cards in event team building and also make birthday cards a more valid choice when making a team. Because before the 3rd anniversary, M5 3-star cards most likely outpaced M0 4-star cards, which means that most people would build teams if they didn't have the event cards or cards at Mastery Rank 1 in the 4-star category with 3-star cards. And it wasn't a great feeling when you had 4-star cards at M0 that you really liked for the character, but they were just worse than using an M5 3-star card. The 4-star cards are the focus and the selling point of both the game and each and every event gacha we see after all, so having them be weaker than their lower tier counterpart was just a big question mark when it came to structuring the game. 4-star cards are not impossible to come by, not even as a free-to-play player, because if you summon from a colorful festival you usually get a slew of different cards that covers a lot of different characters and attributes of the permanent variety. This is a healthy change though to the event team building, as it will shake up how you build your event teams and not make it static that you're using either 3-star cards at M5 and then you're using your M1 4-star cards. Instead, now it will be valid to use both 3-star cards at M5 if you can't cover the character, and pick your best 4-star cards to fill out the roster if it's say a unit event. Again, it might seem like a bad change for new players and free-to-play players, but I do really think that this was a healthy change that was needed for people to enjoy using the cards that they summoned from in other events than the original event where those cards had their event bonus. But the changes to event bonus and mastery rank I think goes hand in hand with the more overarching gameplay changes, so let's move over to the category I aptly named gameplay changes. This includes changes to several systems within the game, but also changes to the actual rhythm game experience that we see during live shows. I will be focusing on the system changes such as character ranks and trust ranks first before moving into the rhythm game changes. Starting off with some minor changes, the 3 power stats assigned to every card, being performance, technique and stamina, has gone unused for the entirety of the game's life cycle and will therefore be removed with 3rd anniversary. Sega listed that they did have plans of using these for different gameplay mechanics, but this went unused with the launch of the game, and since then they have found that they do not have any good ideas for what to actually do with these stats, and instead think that it's the better choice to remove them, as they often confuse new players what they mean. The cards will of course retain a summarized power stat for how much talent the card actually gives, but it's unclear if this stat will now be renamed on EN or if it will retain its original name of talent after the change. Other minor changes include raising the player rank from 500 to 600. The limit for the login achievement Old School will be raised from 1095 days to 1460 days. Kisuna ranks or trust ranks will have their cap increased from 55 to 75. And with this increase they will add a whole set of trust rank stamps that are unlocked at trust rank 66 for each pair of characters that have trust ranks available. These stamps will give both character a character experience for their character rank. And any experience gained after you hit trust rank 75 with a pair of characters will not be accumulated, meaning that any experience you gain after you hit the cap is wasted and will not go towards a new cap increase. And finally, character ranks will be increased from 110 to 135 as the new maximum level. The character rank increase of course goes hand in hand with the introduction of the EX missions for character ranks and the character mission increase introduced during 3.0. With 3.0, several new thresholds for character rank missions will be added, as I already said, and I will be displaying these thresholds on screen right now. I will not read out every single threshold as that would be extremely boring and take a lot of time, and instead if you're really interested in the new thresholds for the character rank missions you can pause the video and read them yourself, but I will actually tell you what the categories for the new threshold increases are. The increases will happen for the have character in green room, costumes for each character, collect alt vocals for character, obtain different version of character as in collect cards / different card arts, use character as leader for X amount of shows, and read side story 1 and 2 for each character. And most people will most likely be amazed how high the thresholds for the character rank missions have actually reached, as these are thresholds that many casual players will never ever be close to reaching even if they keep playing for the rest of Project Sekai's lifespan. But for the hardcore players, with 3.0 they will introduce what's called the EX missions. The EX missions are only applicable to people who spend an insane amount of time in the game or super oishis of a specific character, as EX missions are unlocked once you reach the current mission cap on specific character rank mission categories. With 3rd anniversary, only 2 categories will be unlocked, which is use the character as leader and have the character in the green room X amount of times. So once you reach either the cap of 30,000 shows with 1 character as the leader or 700 times having them be in the green room, you will unlock the EX mission option. And EX missions will be a toggle that you can turn on and off. This is because they often raise the cap for character rank missions, such as have person in green room X amount of times or use them as show leaders, so you can go back to the standard mission and complete the new raised thresholds if you so wish. And this also means that the EX missions are a permanent unlock for each character you unlock them for, so you don't get locked out of EX missions every time they reach the cap for character rank missions. The EX mission is a new group of missions starting you fresh and giving you 30 levels with the reward of 1 character EXP per level. And once you complete that 30th final level, it will give you an infinite looping mission at the end which rewards you 100 wish pieces each time you complete it. These missions are not for the average player, as the goals are ludicrous to reach if you're not someone who is hardcore into playing Project Sekai, or you're someone who is only single-handedly playing with a single character and still then you have to play a lot of the game to reach these mission caps. And the reason for limiting the EX mission XP gain to only 30 levels before the infinite loop of 100 wish pieces appears is to not let player gain just an infinite amount of character EXP and level characters to the max cap too quickly. But the increase to the character rank maximum level and the increased thresholds for the different character rank missions is a nice addition for people who are working on their favorite characters and might be close to maxing them out. This leads us into a new category that I will be calling crystals and value changes, as there are several minor changes to the crystal shop and also crystal farming methods that we see in the game. One of the most exciting minor changes in my personal opinion is the changes to the login bonuses. As it currently stands, you get 300 crystals and 350 virtual coins for logging in all 7 days, with the rewards varying depending on the day. The change will replace the virtual coins with wish pieces, giving you 105 wish pieces per week. And on top of this, the crystal amount will be even to 50 crystals a day, resulting in 350 crystals a week, which is 50 more than we got before. And for new players, the tutorial rewards have been improved. They have added 100 extra music cards for a total of 200 when you get through the tutorial missions, and added 4 brand new rewards to the reward table, including 100,000 coins, 100 of each gem, 50 miracle gems, and 50 intermediate practice scores. And everyone who has passed the tutorial already will be given these rewards retroactively. The start dash / getting started missions will also be revamped for new players. I will show all of the new getting started missions on screen if you are a brand new player looking to get into Project Sekai, but these set of missions will only be available for accounts who started after patch 3.0 goes live. Accounts made before the 3.0 patch will continue on with the old mission set and rewards. And because of this, old accounts who have already completed the mission set or have the old mission set will not be compensated with the new reward changes. And the new rewards are 5,000 crystals and 100 music cards. So if you're considering getting into the game, or you're someone who are looking to get a friend into the game, you might want to wait until 3.0 actually launches for the new start dash missions to come online to get you better rewards if you have not yet started the game. This also means that alt account, side account, or restart accounts will have a better start than our original start that we saw before the 3rd anniversary. For the crystal shop, a few bundles are actually getting discontinued / merged into new bundles that will release with the 3rd anniversary. The bundles that are getting discontinued are the Variety Sekai set, the Sewing set, the Music Card set, the Stamp Exchange set, and the Coin set. These will instead become entirely new bundles, including a brand new welcome bundle. I will show these on screen right now and roughly what they will include. In addition, there will also be some changes to the pricing of the support messages that you can send during Virtual Live. And there will also be some new benefits added to the different tiers of the Colorful Plus subscriptions. The price changes of the Virtual Live messages will be according to this table shown on screen. And certain Virtual Live emotes will also have their cost lowered. They will be lowered according to this list, but to not bloat the video further as it's already way too long of a video and we have a lot more to go through, I will not be reading them out. So instead, if you're someone who sends a lot of support messages or emotes during Virtual Lives, you can pause the video and take your time and read them through on your own. And finally, Colorful Plus members will be granted a few Virtual Live perks per tier. And these are infinite use, so use them as many times as you like during different Virtual Live shows. Colorful Basic members will be able to send support messages with up to 8 characters for free, and the emote Crackers. Colorful Standard will have the same benefits as Colorful Basic, with the addition of the Rockets and the Balloons emote available for free. And finally, Colorful Deluxe will of course have all the perks of the previous 2 tiers, and also included in their package is the Precious Fan emote and the Hearts emote. These free support messages and emotes will of course not give wish pieces or count towards the fan title achievements. And while you are free to use as many messages and emotes as you want, as these are unlimited use benefits for all Colorful Plus members, spamming will still be limited. And this leaves us with the final category, which should be the most important category for the 3.0 patch notes, being the rhythm game overhaul. The most anticipated addition for the 3.0 patch note, or maybe I should call it the dreaded, is the introduction of the new rhythm game difficulty, Append. Append songs are akin to the difficulty of Expert and Master Song depending on the append song in question, but they do require 3 to 4 fingers to be played at all. On launch, Append will have songs between the levels of 23 and 28 in difficulty, but these cannot be translated to Expert or Master level song, as Append is its own unique difficulty. On the launch of Append, the 30th of September, 12 songs will be added to the difficulty, these being Tell Your World, Neo, Hibana Reloaded, Stella, More Jump More, Vampire, Cinema, Feels, Totem of Wonders, Telecaster B-Boy, I Am You, and Gehenna. The rewards for full comboing an Append song will be 15 wish pieces and 9,000 gold, as Sega argued they wanted Append to be a fun gimmick, not barring progression for players unable to play it. Everyone on iOS should turn off multi-finger gestures too when playing Append to avoid problems in the app, such as closing it down or opening another app on top of it. And for people playing ranked matches, Append difficulty songs won't appear in the song pool until the Diamond tier. So if you're below Diamond tier and play a lot of ranked matches, you do not have to worry about Appends showing up until you get over Diamond tier. Additionally, there will be a limited time Append version of the intense voice of Hatsune Miku. This is the full 5-minute version of the song with a staggering 4,500 notes at a skill level of 35. This version of the song was only available between September 30th and October 12th, as it was a celebratory version of the song to showcase the full potential of the Append difficulty and to celebrate the 3rd anniversary of the game. So if you're planning on taking on the Intense Voice of Hatsune Miku challenge during 3rd anniversary, make sure to get it in as soon as possible, as the song will most likely not be available forever for us on the EN side either. Another exciting addition is the brand new type of note called a trace note. For these notes, you just have to catch the notes either by tapping or holding, but unlike a normal hold note, you don't have to stay inside the guidelines. These notes will be standard in the new songs and become part of the normal tutorial for the game now, but I am unsure if they are retroactively added to old songs. On top of this, the 3.0 patch introduces the note skins and sound effect changes. At launch, there will only be one new set of note skins and sound effects that belong to the new UI overhaul. You can change back to the old note skin and sound effect if you want to from the settings menu after 3.0 goes live. And there is a possibility in the future that more note skins and sound effects will be added. Another change that will actually heavily impact gameplay is the introduction of FPS toggle and VSync in the update. This will allow you to decide the FPS you wanna play on and toggle VSyncs from the settings. This will allow for more smoother gameplay if you have more powerful devices, or allow for more stable gameplay if you might have low-end devices, since you can toggle whichever one you want. I will say though, I am unsure how this will be handled during our 3rd anniversary, as this was a pre-release trial for the setting during the Japanese 3rd anniversary. As of currently on the Japanese server, these settings have been fully implemented and fine-tuned, so we might see a full implementation on the EN server for the actual finally finished versions of the VSync and FPS settings, or there is a possibility that we might have to wait for the patch where these were launched in full on the Japanese server until we get them. So the usual pinch of salt and caution that I request in most of my videos are needed, as I cannot say with certainty how this is going to be handled because they were trials during 3rd anniversary. But it is good to know that there are going to be more options to customize your experience to best suit your phone and its power. Other rhythm game changes introduced with the 3.0 patch includes changes to the disconnect penalty system. This was also in early access during 3rd anniversary to allow the devs to test and tweak this system to make it smarter and more reliable as time goes on, so I'm still unsure in what way this system will be implemented on the English server. Once again, we might not get it until the Japanese saw the full release. We might get the same version the Japanese players saw on 3rd anniversary's release, or we might just get the full system implemented directly on 3rd anniversary's launch. That is still yet to be seen. But the system will judge how much you play, and that will then determine how many disconnect penalties and how long the disconnect penalty will be. As I understand it, as the patch notes were rather vague about this system, the system will judge if you've played a lot of songs in a row and you accidentally disconnect twice. It might not be as harsh as it's been before with the disconnect penalty, seeing as Project Sekai is not the most stable game out there. And this will in turn then create a more dynamic and fair system when it comes to disconnect penalties and being disruptive in online lobbies. But once again, we don't know how this system will be implemented, just that it was part of the 3.0 patch note. So once again, just like the last one, take out your pinch of salt, as I cannot say for certain if this system will be implemented in full or if we will see it at all during the 3.0 patch. And the final change we have to talk about that was introduced with the 3.0 patch note is the possibility to keep playing songs after you hit 0 HP. And this will become available both for solo lives and challenge lives, but the reward and score will be cut accordingly if you do die during the song. This allows for more consistently practicing songs that have really hard parts, or continuing through a song that has a really hard part you're not quite sure of yet, but you still want to practice the later parts of the song, or you can even wait until you get to the part that is hard in the song and play from there without playing the entire song every single time. This will also mean that the Never Give Up achievement will be changed, and players who got it before the change will be compensated 50 crystals to make up for the change. And that covers everything that will be changed or added during the 3.0 patch for 3rd anniversary. Of course, announced and explained during the 3.0 patch notes was the World Link events. The 3.0 patch notes and the 3.0 livestream went into great detail of how World Link events will work and what they will entail for the game. But World Link event both deserves and requires its own dedicated video for me to explain in full. So stay tuned for a dedicated guide on how to tackle World Link event as we get closer to the first one, being the Nightcore 25 World Link event, as I will go into great detail what a World Link event entails and how you should handle them in that video. But for now, we have finished talking about the 3.0 patch note, but of course we also have several special gachas and campaigns running alongside 3rd anniversary that we should still talk about. So if you will join me for a little bit longer in this massive feature-length video, we can look at these special happenings arriving with the 3rd anniversary, so you are prepared for all the gachas that will be available. And I will elaborate on the gachas that I think have a high likelihood of being changed as we get to them. Of course, we will have the 3rd anniversary event Hello.Good.Day with its limited event Gacha, but that is a given and something I will save for the Before You Summon episode of Hello.Good.Day. But what is special for this event is the Colorful Festival Dream Pick. Just like 2nd anniversary, the Colorful Festival for 3rd anniversary will allow you to pick cards to make rate up. Last year, if you remember, you were given 4 slots to pick cards to put as rate up. 3 slots were reserved for permanent cards up to a certain point. and a single special slot where you could make a colorful festival card from the past rate up as well. Your choices for the colorful festival slot was up until the 1st anniversary Miku and Ichika. The 3rd anniversary new version of the Dream Pick gacha will be working slightly differently though. Instead of the 4 slots you had during the 2nd year anniversary to make rate up, this time around you will only have 2 available slots, making it 8 characters in the gacha altogether. But both slots this time around will allow you to pick colorful festival exclusive cards to be selected to be rate up. The roster of Colorful Festival exclusive card this time around will go all the way up to 2nd anniversary, as in the Miku and Luca. And if you rather pick permanent cards for these slots, you are able to do that as well. The roster for the permanent cards will go all the way up to the event step by step. The Colorful Festival Dream Pick will of course be the standard 6% chance for a 4-star, and it will run from Hello.Good.Day's start at September 30th and will only be available to October 4th. This is of course all standard for Colorful Festival gachas, but it's good to remind yourself how short of a time you actually have for such a special gacha as a Dream Pick actually is. After October 4th, we will see the standard limited event gacha for Hello.Good.Day. But like I said earlier, more about that as we get closer to the Before You Summon episode for the actual event. So make sure that you're subscribed and have ringed the bell so you will get notifications when the Hello.Good.Day event guide is released. We of course also have a few special gachas just like last year. I will start with the one I am most uncertain about, which is the 3rd anniversary livestream 10 free gacha pull. This was only given out as a small teaser gift before the 3rd anniversary on the day of the Japanese announcement stream for the 3.0 patch. But since we don't share similar livestream schedules as the Japanese server, it is doubtful that this extra gift will be brought over to the global server. If this gift is brought over, I am guessing it will arrive on the same day it did on the Japanese server, especially seeing how the September Colorful Corner was cancelled. And this is just a standard 10 free pull ticket like we see during all different kinds of events. This will be its own unique gacha, and the permanent pull will be all the way up until step by step. Another pre-3rd anniversary event that will be held is the login stories for each one of the units. These will be short login stories exclusive for each unit, showcasing the changes that they are currently going through because of the time progression for 3rd anniversary. It's kind of a little extra treat to really prepare you for the changes coming with 3rd anniversary and also showcase your favorite character just before the big event starts. This will end at the launch of the 3rd anniversary, with the final episode being Miku introducing us to the event proper, as is usual with these sort of big story-related events. These stories are usually only available for a short amount of time on specific days, like the 2nd anniversary counterparts, but we will have to wait for further official confirmation and updates on which times these stories will actually become available on the global server. Getting back into the gachas though, the second gacha I am most uncertain about is the 3rd rerun of the Invite a Friend campaign. This is because EN has had their campaigns at different times than JP. But if the Invite a Friend campaign were to rerun on EN, it would be abiding by the same standard rules as it has the 2 last time it ran. This means you will only get a 4-star card the first time you do this mission. After you've done it one time and gotten your celebratory 4-star voucher, you will then instead get 1,000 wish pieces each time you finish it when it reruns. So if you've already completed the Invite a Friend campaign, the voucher won't be available for you this time around. If you have not yet completed it and wish to participate, the accounts you invite have to have been created after 3rd anniversary start on September 30th. Meanwhile, your account as the inviter has to have completed the tutorial before September 30th. And the voucher you're granted when you complete this mission for the first time is a guaranteed 4-star voucher that has a special gacha you pull from. This of course means that you will get a guaranteed 4-star of the permanent variety, and the selection reaches up until the gacha from On a Perch. In addition, there is another new account gacha that I am very uncertain about, as information about it is very scarce. The beginner support gacha will give you a guaranteed 4-star from the permanent pool of cards, and just like the Invite a Friend campaign, the card selection will reach up until the gacha from On a Perch. You receive the ticket for this gacha from purchasing the Renewal Commemoration Beginner Support Set. The price for the Renewal Commemoration Beginner Support Set, and if it is exclusive to new accounts created after September 30th, was information I could not find, as information surrounding the Beginner Support gacha is extremely elusive and scarce. But getting into gachas I am far more certain about. We have a few celebratory gachas that will come with the 3rd anniversary celebration. We will of course get a few free pulls, as is standard for the 3rd anniversary, through a login campaign. The login campaign for the free pulls will start on September 30th with 3rd anniversary. On the first day you log in, you will be given 1 free 10-pull ticket and 5,000 crystals as your reward. After that, you will have to log in for 6 more days to get 6 more vouchers for 10 free pulls each. This of course resulting in 70 free pulls altogether and 5,000 crystals as your rewards. The login campaign will end on October 18th, meaning that October 11th is the last day you can start the login process and get all 70 summons and the crystals. So make sure you log in for at least 7 days during the 3rd anniversary to get all of your rewards. You really don't want to miss out on 70 free pulls and 5,000 crystals, as 5,000 crystals is actually quite a lot. The free 10-pull gacha itself will be available until October 30th, and this includes all permanent cards up until the event step by step. And this gacha of course abides by standard gacha rules. It has a 3% chance for a 4-star and it only includes permanent cards, as I already said. We also have a second theoretical login campaign running alongside the 10 free pull login campaign. This is the 3rd anniversary song campaign, which will have 1 new song being released every single day of the 3rd anniversary celebration, resulting in 12 songs altogether. The songs that will be released in order is: on the 30th we will see the song Neo, which is the 3rd anniversary commission song. On October 1st we will see I'm Mine, which is the virtual singer unit commission song. On the 2nd we will see Tengaku. On the 3rd Mani Mani. On the 4th we will see Melancholic. On the 5th Buta ni Nate Yeah Yeah. On the 6th we will see the song Koi wa Sensho. On the 7th Devil Yanai Mon. On the 8th Suki na koto dake deli desu. On the 9th we're getting Tsugai Korogashi. On the 10th we're getting Kami Poi Nai. And the final song will be released on October 11th, being Dear. And I am apologizing in advance for any mispronunciations of these song names, as I am not fluent in Japanese. As for the paid celebratory gachas, we have returning from the 2nd anniversary the unit costume gachas. If you have not seen these gachas before because you didn't play during 2nd anniversary or because you forgot, they are, as the name implies, unit-focused costume gachas. These cost 3,000 paid crystals to pull from, and there is no guaranteed 4-star in these gachas. Instead, there is only cards from that unit included. And of course, instead of a guaranteed 4-star, you are getting a costume specifically tailored for the unit in question. Of course, these gachas abide by standard rules, meaning that there is a 3% chance for a 4-star and there are only permanent cards available in the gacha. The 4-stars available for the Virtual Singer and the MMJ version of this gacha reaches up until the event Step by Step. The final event for Leonid is Get Over It. The final permanent event for Vivid Bad Squad is Light the Fire. The final permanent event for Wonderland Showtime is Canary Sings in Crisis, and Night Court has up until Immiscible Discord as their permanent card selection. Differently from the second year anniversary counterpart is that all gachas will include a male and a female costume this time around. The second year anniversary versions only had male costumes for bands that actually included male members. This meant that there was no male costume for More Jump, Leonid and Night Court 25 for Len and Kaito to wear. But this has, as I already said, been rectified for the third anniversary versions. The rule still remains that only the unit members plus the virtual singers can wear the costume. So, as an example, Leonid can only be worn by Saki, Ichika, Honami, Shiho and the entirety of the virtual singer squad. The exception to this rule is the virtual singer unit costume that can be worn by everyone. In addition, if you prefer the second year anniversary counterparts, they will now become available through the costume tab in the Crystal Shop. And the second year anniversary versions will of course also cost 3000 pay gem, but not give you a gacha pool with it. So to clarify, these are here to give you the costume and the potential 4-star from that unit. You should not expect to get a 4-star as it is the standard 3% rate for these gachas. You should only pull from these gachas if you really want the costume and think they're worth the 3000 paid crystals. The second paid gacha that is returning from the second anniversary is the Memory Select gacha. Costing the standard 3000 paid crystal, the gacha will give you, as the name implies, a select voucher that allows you to pick a 4-star of your choice from every 4-star up until Step by Step of the permanent variety. The gacha itself will be a standard gacha, meaning no guaranteed 4-star, standard 4-star rate, and also going up to Step by Step for the permanent card pool. But the value of the gacha, of course, is not coming from the pool itself, but the voucher you get where you can pick any 4-star of the permanent variety that you want. Of course, you can potentially get a 4-star if you're lucky from the gacha itself, but the selling point is the voucher that will allow you to pick a 4-star of your choosing. If there's a permanent card you've missed, a permanent card that eluded you while you were summoning from another gacha, or a permanent card that was just in a set that you didn't really like but you really love that card, this is a great way to pick those cards up. And I definitely think that this is one of the more valuable gachas when it comes to the paid celebratory gachas that we will see during 3rd anniversary. Though nothing can really match the final and brand new paid gacha that we will see for 3rd anniversary. This is, in my opinion, the most exciting of the paid gachas that we've seen so far, being the limited edition pick list gacha. Costing a staggering 5000 paid gems, this gacha, just like a regular pick list, lets you pick 10 cards that you can guarantee get one of. The special thing about this pick list is that the roster contains only limited cards from the game's past, with the pick list pool containing all limited cards up until Graceful Marriage. So to clarify, this means that you can pick your 10 favorite limited cards from the game's past and make sure that you get one of them from the gacha. This is the first gacha of its kind and is the first time the game is allowing limited cards to be summoned from outside a rerun gacha. This is, in my opinion, the most exciting of the gachas, but the price is definitely a bit of a hurdle, as 5000 paid crystals is a steep asking price for a single gacha. The steep asking price hurts even more with what coveted cards is included in this pick list, such as Knights of White, Secret Tea Time, and Her Hermit. Events that I know are highly coveted and beloved, and many people are still waiting for the second rerun of Hermit. Still, I think it's a gacha worth considering, since this is the only way you can get limited cards outside of their rerun gachas. But of course that is only if you can afford it and if you feel like the price is worth it. And that covers all of the gachas that will be available for the 3rd anniversary and what you should look forward to. But as always, I request a pinch of salt to be sprinkled over everything I say, as I merely gather information from our knowledge of the Japanese server and relay it to you. Sega and Colorful Palette can change any one of these gachas or these rerun dates or the names of the gachas, so once again, just be cautious that this information is not yet confirmed by Sega and Colorful Palette, and therefore it is just merely speculation. Still, since we have great knowledge of how things have been handled before by Sega and Colorful Palette, we can say with somewhat of a certainty that this will most likely show up on the English server. And this leads us into our 3rd and final major portion of this video, being the 3rd anniversary stamp missions. So once again, I ask you to stay just a little bit longer, as the stamp missions are actually quite important to start preparing for. And with the stamp missions, we get to the real crux of talking about the 3rd anniversary on the English server, being the global anniversary situation. Because of the global server releasing in December instead of September like the Japanese server was, EN almost always celebrates any anniversary twice. First, we celebrate the Japanese anniversary in tandem with the anniversary event getting released on the Japanese server. And with the Japanese anniversary, we get most of the features seen during that event period. We then celebrate the global anniversary by rerunning the Colorful Festival and special gachas connected to the event in December. But 2nd anniversary had a mission campaign with rewards for completing said missions. This campaign did not release with 2nd anniversary, instead releasing with the global 2nd anniversary rerun. And there is a big chance that this pattern is repeated for 3rd anniversary. While I cannot say for certain that this will be the case for 3rd anniversary, since I only have official information available and I have no affiliation with Sega, it is good to keep in mind that there is a possibility of these stamp missions arriving with the global anniversary instead of the 3rd anniversary in September. And if the stamp missions does arrive with the global anniversary, they will become available around December 6th. And if the stamp missions are moved to December, this does mean that a few missions will be skewed to have new parameters to fit in with the new timeline for the stamp missions. To make it simpler for you as a viewer, I will point out these missions and how they most likely will be changed if it arrives with the global anniversary instead of the Japanese anniversary in September. The stamp missions will be available from the main menu in any of the overworld maps when they launch. Before you start the missions themselves, you will need to pick 3 stamp cards. And I am going to make it very clear right now that I am warning you, make 100% sure you have picked the correct card, as you cannot change your mind once you lock in your choices. And I will repeat it once more, make 100% sure that you picked the correct card, as Sega cannot help you once you lock them in. The stamp missions are a permanent choice and you cannot change your mind, not even by contacting support, as my friend sadly found out during the 2nd anniversary. But the more important thing that I'm sure you are wondering about is the stamp cards themselves. There are 4 categories of stamp missions with 14 cards in total. This does mean that you have to make a few choices of which cards you pick. So you have to make sure to pick cards that you find interesting and that you think that you can complete within the allotted time slot. as some of these stamp cards are actually quite tolling and requires a lot of gameplay to fulfill. So make sure to pick cards that you think that you can complete, but also wish to get the rewards from. Starting off with the first category, we have the unit category. There is 6 different stamp cards in this category, one for each unit, with all cards being the same missions, just with the different units as their focus. You can pick 2 out of 3 cards in this category, and the missions are as follows for these cards. Play 10 lives with a team of only the unit's characters. Watch a virtual live wearing either the unit or a character from the unit's support shirt. Play a song from said unit 10 times. Play a song with a unit's alt vocal 10 times. These can be completed together, by the way. Play 10 multi-lives where at least 2 players have a fan title equipped from the chosen unit, such as you and 2 other people having fan of Saki, Ichika, Honami or Shiho as your titles. Get 4 costumes for the unit members. These costumes does not have to come from the unit originally, so you can pick any costume you think fit for these unit members. And this mission will be fulfilled if you pull from the unit paid costume gacha. Get 10 cards of the unit members. Dupes of course counts toward this. So getting Saki, Shiho, Honami or Ichika as an example in the green room through either watching ads or summoning on a gacha will get you this achievement. And once again, summoning from the unit paid costume gacha will most likely get you this mission instantly. And the final stamp mission is to complete all missions. Finishing any stamp mission will grant you 10 crystals, and this will be true for every single card going forward, so I will not continue to mention it. But for the unit cards, you will get 80 crystals in total for completing all 8 missions. And then finishing the card will grant you 1 free 10-pull ticket, 3 EXP for all members of the unit, and 300 crystals. This means that you will get 3 experience points towards, say, Saki, Shiho, Honami, and Ichika if you were going for Leonid. The 10 free pull ticket will be used in the same gacha as the login campaign tickets. These are by far the easiest and most casual of the stamp cards. And I would recommend picking 2 of these if you do not play a lot of the game or you're a newer account, as the character experience is actually really good and the rewards for how much work you have to put in is actually quite decent. Again, this is only a suggestion and feel free to pick any card that sounds the best for you. The second category of stamp cards is the play category, which has 3 different cards which you can only pick 1 of. These are the cards I would consider second most casual, and I would recommend picking one of these cards as your third slot if you're again a more casual account that doesn't play a lot, or you're a newer account that will have a harder time completing the higher tier missions. The lowest tier card in the play category is called the casual try card. The missions on this card include clearing Neo 1 time, clearing 10 co-op lives, level up Kohane from Hello.Good.Day to max level, read the last chapter of the story for Hello.Good.Day. And this is of course one of the missions that will be replaced if the stamp missions come around in December. This will be replaced with the currently running event on EN at the time of the release of the stamp missions. The closest event that seems the most likely to be in the stamp missions, if this is the case, is over here, over there, Zookeeper Experience. The mission will be the same, only that you have to read all of the stories for over here, over there, Zookeeper Experience instead of Hello.Good.Day in that case. And this would also be true for the mission that comes after, which is Watch the Afterlife for Hello.Good.Day. So instead, if it comes in December, it should be Zookeeper Experience. Earn a total of 200,000 event points in Hello.Good.Day or Zookeeper Experience if it is in December. This one could theoretically be a bit iffy, but if I remember correctly, during 2nd anniversary we did get a second rerun of the 10 free pull gacha during the global anniversary as well. And beating the casual card will give you 300 crystals upon completion. The second medium difficulty card in the play category is the regular try card. This card has you clearing Neo 10 times. Play 10 co-op live rooms and have all players get a full combo. This is easiest done by making a pre-made group of friends or by asking people in a Sekai Discord server of some kind. And if you're not used to Sekai Discord, I would suggest you join the official Discord as they have room creation channels. Play co-op live rooms and get Super Fever 20 times. Super Fever is of course if everyone has a full combo at the end of a fever chance. This is also easiest done with a pre-made group. Play 10 shows before noon and 10 shows after noon. Play co-op live and get MVP, Superstar or Ace 10 times. Earn a total of 1 million event points in either Hello.Good.Day or Zookeeper Experience if it is during the global anniversary. And get 50,000 perfect notes in lives. And this can be done in both solo and co-op rooms. And beating all of these missions will grant you 500 crystals and 1 free 10-pool ticket. The final and hardest card within the play category is the Ultimate Try card. And this card has you clearing 10 co-op lives with 4 friends. Play 10 co-op live rooms and have all 5 players get a full combo 3 times, and this is once again done easiest in a pre-made group. Play co-op live and get Super Fever 50 times. Again, easiest done in a pre-made group. Play 30 shows before noon and 30 shows after noon. Play co-op rooms and get Superstar, MVP or Ace 30 times. Earn a total of 3 million event points in either Hello.Good.Day or Zookeeper Experience. And finally get 200,000 perfect notes in lives, both co-op and solo count. And beating the Ultimate Try card will give you 1,000 crystals and 2 10-pool tickets. And once again, if you do not play a lot, you're not that into the game, you're a new player, or maybe you're taking a break, I would consider picking from the play category and from the unit category, as the final 2 categories will be a lot less casual friendly. The third category is the Gacha category, which contains 2 different tiers of cards. And I am warning you right now, do not pick either of these cards if you have not paid gems saved up or are planning to spend money on the game, as both of these cards require paid gacha pulls, and I will clarify how much is needed for each tier. Starting off with the easier card is the Gold Select card. This card has you do 3 10 pulls in the 3rd anniversary Dream Pick or the Grew Up With Me gacha. This is another mission which changes depending on when the stamp mission is released. Because if the mission is released in December, Grow Up With Me will most likely be replaced with the 24-hour Animal Police gacha instead. This is because the Grow Up With Me gacha does not rerun for the global anniversary, only the Colorful Festival portion does. And Animal Police of course is belonging to the Over Here, Over There Zookeeper Experience event. And it's worth noting that this is a permanent gacha, so if you want those Colorful Festival rates, you should get your summon in as soon as possible for this stamp card if you're picking it. After that, you should pull once from the Memory Select gacha, pull once from any 3rd anniversary premium costume gacha, buy any 3rd anniversary bundle from the Crystal Shop, buy the October Premium Mission Pass, get 3000 cheer points in a virtual live, do a 10 pull in the Connect Live 3rd Anniversary Memorial Box. And this is also one unique, as we do not get the Connect Lives in the West. But I am going to assume that they will repeat how they did it last year and release the Memorial Box for the stamp missions. And then release the Connect Live as a reprise show that you can buy into with paid gems. And to complete this card you need around 9,000 crystals, 7,500 paid crystals, 6,000 virtual coins and $15.99, and as a reward for completing the card you get 1,000 crystals, 500 wish pieces, 2 10-pull tickets and 2 gold scores. And as I am a broken record, take my estimated prices with a pinch of salt, as documentation of the Crystal Shop bundles and memorial box is basically non-existent, just like some other things in this video. I am estimating that the lowest crystal bundle available in the shop will be 1,500 paid crystal, as that seems to be a rather standard price, but we could see a bundle for 500 paid crystals if we're lucky. And as for the memorial box, I am assuming that it is 3,000 virtual tokens as it was last year. If you actually have documentation of the Crystal Shop during 3rd anniversary or the Connect Live memorial box, I would love it if you could leave it in the comments so I could either or add it to the description. Documentation for these things are usually pretty scarce around Sekai, and I'm going to start documenting it myself for bigger events going forward most likely. The difficult card for the gacha category is called the Diamond Select card. This card has you do 10 pulls, so 100 pulls in total from the 3rd anniversary dream pick or grow up with me / 24-hour police. You have to pull once in the memory select, same as before. Pull twice from any of the premium costume gachas. Buy October's premium mission pass, once again same as the lower tier. Pull once from the limited edition pick list gacha. And do 3 10 pulls in the Connect Live Memorial Stage Collection box. This card will require you to have 30,000 free crystals, 15,500 paid crystals and 9,000 virtual tokens. Once again estimations, but you should have these funds ready if you're going to this card just to be safe. And for completing this very expensive card, you get 2,000 crystals, 1,000 wish pieces, 3 gold scores, and 3 10-pull tickets. As you can see, these cards are quite expensive, but they have the most rewards out of any card. If you were already planning on summoning from the paid gachas around the amount the cards wish for you to do, you could go for these as they are quite valuable and you still would have summoned from the paid gachas either way. But for someone who isn't willing to pay a ludicrous amount of money, doesn't have the paid gems saved up from say last year, or is a free-to-play player, you should absolutely don't even look at these cards. This leaves us with our 4th and final category, being the rhythm game category. And these cards require actual intense rhythm game skills for minor rewards. There are 3 cards in this category as well, and you can only pick 1 card here too, just like the last 2 categories. The first and easiest of the cards is the light rhythm card. This card requires you to full combo 10 songs, clear 3 songs using the mirror feature, clear 3 songs using the 2D MV or original MV, clear 3 songs using the 3D MV, level up 1 card skill once, get 20 music cards, and play songs from the 3rd anniversary song campaign 20 times. And now you might be thinking, that's kinda easy, and yes, I agree, this card is easily beaten if you're someone who plays the game at least casually. Before all of these songs being played, you get a grand total of 100 wish pieces and that's it. The medium difficulty card is called the Challenge Rhythm card. This card requires you to full combo level 27 to 28 songs 10 times, full combo level 29 song 10 times, clear level 30 or above songs 10 times, get all perfect in any expert, master or append song 3 times, play ranked matches 30 times, play songs from the 3rd anniversary song campaign 20 times, and finally full combo Neo on all difficulties, including append. And for completing all of these missions, you will be given 200 wish pieces and 1 10-pull ticket. That leaves us with the final and hardest card, being the ultimate rhythm card. This is more so a flex to be able to do this than it is an actual reward for doing it. This card requires you to full combo level 30 to 31 songs 10 times. It requires you to full combo level 32 songs 10 times. Clear level 33 or above songs 10 times. Get all perfect in any master or append song 2 times. Play ranked matches 50 times, clear the intense voice of Hatsune Miku, append full version without using continue. And worth noting is that this was the special limited availability version of this song, and this could mean that we won't get the song until the stamp missions release, or we will get it twice, both when the event and the missions release, if we are assuming, so to say, that the stamp missions doesn't arrive with the 3rd anniversary and instead with the global anniversary. And the third alternative is that this mission might be changed for EN to be something else entirely. And the final mission for this card is All Perfect Neo on all difficulties including append. And for this you will be rewarded with 300 wish pieces and 2 10-pull tickets. And in my opinion, even if you are a skilled enough rhythm player, the rewards for beating these missions are far too low to justify the intense amount of time and work required to actually complete them. So even if you have the skills to beat these cards, the unit cards feel more valuable for a third of the work. But ultimately, the choice is up to you which card suits you the best and gives you the reward you want the most for your account. And since we don't know when these will arrive, the guide is more so to give you time to consider your choices, so you are prepared when they do well arrive on EN. And once again, I want to reiterate that once you lock in your choices when the stamp missions arrive, you are set on those cards, so make sure you've actually picked out which cards you want before you lock them in. And with that, I've summarized everything that I can find at least about the 3rd anniversary and the 3.0 patch of Project Sekai. So you are fully ready and prepared when the 3rd anniversary arrived on September 30th. Of course, Hello.Good.Day will have its own before you summon video that will break down the event itself, but that is for when we get closer to the event. So if you made it all the way to the end of this feature-length info dump, I am extremely honored to have you here. You have been listening to me rambling, giving my opinions, and sharing information I think is important to know before the 3rd anniversary arrive, and I cannot thank you enough for giving me all your time. But with that, I will not keep you a second longer. I am going to go lay down. Let's get out of here for now.